Night of the Whisperers, Chapter 3, The Motel. As I stepped into room 420, the first thing I thought was about smoking. I had to christen room 420 at 420. It's just a thing potheads do. Like other groups, we have our social things and rituals we live by. The room was double beds, as usual. The walls were an orangish color. It seemed dated. There was no internet and broadcast TV. But it had power and indoor plumbing, so I knew I was in the correct century. The shower was good, hot, and unlike the shower at my house, had really good pressure. The soap was a standard rectangle of cleaning goodness, and the air was clean. Many hotels I've stayed in my life, the air tasted acrid or like heavy disinfectant. The walls were your standard bumpy walls, like a plastic with like bumps that you could feel as you ran your hand across, and then ceramic yellow tile. You could see that it was relatively new because the grout was all still white. Decent bathroom. The night was dark. Oh, so dark. But, as anyone that knows me will tell you, I like the dark. I checked the corners of the bed for bloodstains, no bed bugs. Then examined the drawers for roaches or roach droppings, but nothing. The fridge was loaded with local foods, free of charge, but the stuff was loaded with these odd worms. I pitched it. It must have gone bad. Although they didn't look like maggots, they were bigger, with flat, round heads. I'd never seen bugs like this before, but as my wife says, "James, you're not an entomologist." She is correct, I am not. I am not a studier of bugs. I couldn't tell you the difference between a jumping spider and a yellow spider, except for the yellow spider is supposed to be yellow, but what do I know? The carpet was a shag rug, my favorite of all the rugs, but a super bitch to clean, but gives the welcome hug to your toes. The little carpet hairs riding up between my toes, welcoming my feet to the room. The food I bagged up and pitched out the balcony into the dumpster. I wonder how long it took for the fridge to get infected with the worms. The food looked new, no dates, but it hadn't decayed except for the worms. It looked new. It almost still felt warm. But if that's true, the worms were part of the preparation. Imagery of a dirty kitchen with worms getting into the food. I laughed to myself. Someone takes a bite out of that food and spits it, and it crawls away. I will have to remember not to order from that place. Time passes. I continue to explore my room. The mirror was old and had a delamination on the corners. You could see the slight air of silver behind the sheen. The table was standard particle board with laminate on it. Brown inlays. Looks like mats had been inlaid in the wood. The windows were 4 panes of glass in a rectangular construction, heavy glass with black sealant in the creases. The glass was coated for UV, so I will not be getting a sunburn looking out of it. And they appear to be tinted to a blue hue on everything. A dark blue hue. The fridge was reloaded with my beer and my heroes from JB's. Tomorrow I should run into Ant at some point. I'll bet he's in one of these rooms sleeping it off. He's a good guy. Always been a good guy. Just likes to party more than me. But he's younger, so it's par for the course. I pulled down the bed and started looking in the closet for more pillows. I have 8 on my bed at home. I love extra pillows. It makes the nights in my bed seem more elegant. To have more squishy pillows. The pillows were heavy and soft. I had a good feel on the head. I leaned back on the headboard. The sheets were cold and cotton, white as usual, not stains. I went to the AC and cranked it up, made it as loud as possible. I don't sleep right unless I have the whine of a fan or AC in my ear. Back in the day, I needed silence to sleep, but not anymore. Now I needed some machine sound, and not a TV. TVs are the worst to sleep by. You got that constant conversation, and that constant conversation, for some reason, I would listen to, even if I didn't want to. It kept me awake and influenced my dreams. Somehow, so part of the TV narrative, TV show would emulate in my dreams. So I had to put the kibosh on that. No more TV at night. Fans. Fans are the way to go. Fans are a constant sound. And if you get close enough to it when you're sleeping, they will blot out all other sounds. So all you hear is the fan. And that is great for sleeping. I cracked a beer, and one of my heroes. Good thing I got food or I'd be eating around the worms. Yuck. It would be like Lost Boys. Want some noodles, Michael? I giggled to myself. Then I took my first bite. I could taste the tuna. Very fishy, as my wife would say. Mayo, some celery, bacon bits, and American cheese. The bun was freshly baked as well. No worms. I had to check. The bread was chewy and had little white crumbs on it. They looked like yellow wheat or flour. Very good. Before I knew it, I had eaten it. Good thing I got two. I cracked my chips, nacho tortilla, yum, 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 yum. Yum. Some local manufacturer. Not a worm in sight. I drank my beer. Nice, cold, and bitter. The more bitter, the better. It's the way you can tell real beer from that fake-ass shit that they mass-produce and put on in the tap. I stretched out to sleep, and did. End chapter 3.